if there are no cool air to draw in, you're fucked anyways, because that's how they build open public spaces now. No trees, concrete jungle. So it's like it doesn't help if you place a naturally ventilated house in the middle of a baking oven. It's going to be crapping hot because there is no cool air to draw in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're looking at.
If your air temperature outside is 35, 40 degrees, all you're doing is just bringing that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm on a waiting list for an air conditioning unit. You know, within reason. Within reason. I don't care how much it costs. Within reason. Well, yeah, you got to be sensible about this. Lidl last week were selling air conditioning units, 150 quid
Yeah.
a piece. Sold out within hours, and within hours they were on eBay, and people were buying them for £700 plus. Because people are desperate and people are crazy.
It's almost the same here. I see that this year they have dropped the price significantly to the level that you are mentioning there, but I haven't seen anything on the resale market yet. But yeah, it takes a day and it's gone, and all fans and everything rotating, moving air, holding ice cubes, whatnot. It's sold out. You can't get it, and now the weather forecast is today it's acceptable, and then it jumps up 6 degrees until tomorrow, and then that's just like what's a hell's hallway, and then from Friday and in next week there is no hope in sight. So
Straight into Hell's Kitchen.
yes,
Straight into Satan's oven.
also known as Britain, or now Norway for some odd reason. I don't know.
Well, you know, our two great nations are facing off on the pitch on Saturday.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Same day that this episode comes out, so
Well, there we go. So,
Mortal enemies. Yeah, yay.
finally we'll know who's the best one. I mean, Sweden is out since a long run, so it's
obviously,
Norway
well,
or
you know,
England.
I've
Yay,
been,
the best poorly clothed men chasing leather orbs. That's yay.
I'm thinking of hanging a sort of like orange and blue flag out the window just to annoy the neighbours. You are orange and blue, aren't you?
Orange and blue?
No.
I wouldn't say so, but
No.
Oh yeah.
Damn it. What colours are the Norwegian flag?
Is red, white, and blue?
Oh, red, white, and blue.
Yeah. So,
Is
but
it?
you
Who am I
could
thinking of then?
you could put up.
don't ask me.
Some other.
What you could hang out the Danish flag, which is the Norwegian flag without the blue cross in the middle. So then you would piss off everyone because the people in Britain would think it's a Norwegian flag. So they would hate you for that. And then the Norwegian would hate you for mistaking us for being Danish. So yeah, it's a win-win. Although that being said, though, the Danish has been supporting us actually during these leather orb shenanigans. But then again, we're thinking that they're trying to ease themselves back in after they lost the deal of the oil. They're like, maybe we should try and get together again, and then maybe football is the foot in the door we need to get
Considering
the
it was
relationship going again.
considering it was the Danes that screwed the Sweden with Post Nord, don't do any business with them.
Oh no, we have no intention though.
Buy their Legos and their bacon, but that's it.
I bought some Lego just yesterday, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the World Cup football set.
No, it was a Back to the Future DeLorean time machine.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Yeah,
that's a good choice there.
yeah, exactly. It's much more interesting than sports ball.
Is that one of those 5,000 pieces grown-up models, or is it a?
Well, the good Mrs. Things. Well, this will now be the third DeLorean we've had in the flat.
Oh,
I way back when, more than a decade ago, I had the original ideas set, which is where you make a set, you submit it to Lego, it gets a public vote, and if it gets enough votes, they build it.
Oh yeah.
So I had the original set, which was quite small and pretty basic. I had that one. And then Mrs. Thing's got the big one, which is very impressive. Built it, displayed it, took it all apart again, sold it, and this is the little Speed Champion one,
Hmm.
which I only bought because it was on a half price offer. Usually £25. It was £11. I thought I'm having that.
Yeah, you're
yeah.
worth it.
A total impulse purchase. But yes, no foot sack shenanigans, Lego based stuff. So for all the listeners of the Make Crude Mistakes podcast, if you're hoping for any significant in-depth football analysis, you're listening to the wrong podcast.
I mean, we could make some stuff up, but I think we can make stuff up about other topics instead.
Exactly.
My wife says I'm not only a poor liar, but it's not in my repertoire at all. So if I try to fake being interested in anything, it's like, nope, he's he's not. He couldn't be bothered any less. And that's the same with the leather orb chasing thing. Is like, oh. It's almost like, is this? Well, given the fact that this episode comes out on Saturday, maybe this is not the right thing to say. But is it? Is it okay to say that I kind of hope that we don't win the final? I would be very happy for second place because we would be unbearable
Yes,
if
we
we
would.
won. So I don't. Yeah, we need to keep ourselves humble. So
I mean,
I root for seconds.
how far have you gone previous years in the World Cup? You haven't been doing that much, have
I'm
you?
not sure if we even have been in the World Cup. I'm not sure. I would just, oh,
No.
are we in the World Cup? Nice, we're getting up in the world. Um,
Yeah,
but
because I mean,
no,
Sweden is still living large within ourselves, of course, of getting third place in '94.
yeah,
We're still really
we
proud of that, and that's all everyone talks about.
that
Well, hang on a
it's
minute.
I saw a fun interview here because that's the fun thing with Norway. We actually beat Brazil in 1998, and I remember this. It was a huge thing. I mean, it's always a huge thing, beating Brazil. And then there has been some championships where we have played them later on, where it's been a tie. So that's been the thing when we now played Brazil. They have never beaten us. And then of course the Norwegian coach actually said that that might be true, but we have also been avoiding all the matches that we could because they have these friendship matches and whatnot. And there's always been someone like, "Do you want to play?" No, no, we don't want to play, but we would like to keep this streak. But now, of course, it was unavoidable, and actually beating them again is fantastic. So just on that, I think we've won the entire championship. I mean, we can lose everything from here on out, but we have still never been beaten by Brazil, which is the flag we're gonna wave the highest anyway.
Well, you came third in what 90? Did you say 94 or 97?
'94.
94. Yeah, we're still clinging on to the. Oh, we won it once in '66. We can do it again. You haven't, though, have you?
Yeah.
You haven't.
We had something in '94 called the Winter Olympics, which is huge in Norway but not anywhere else. But we don't know that. So of course, still we're talking about the Olympics in 1994, and if you go through Lillehammer and all the municipalities and counties surrounding that, they still have the official road signs up. Welcome to the Olympic Village. Welcome to this. Welcome to that. And so we're still riding that high. And of course, I don't remember. It's a few years ago. We had the not the Olympics, but the World Championship in Winter Games in Japan, and of course, all the Norwegians went down there, and all the journalists and whatnot, and they went down there, and it's like, where are all the people? I mean, in Winter Olympics, we are used to it being in the Scandinavian forests, and then people are out there, they're drinking and making it into a huge fest. And then they went to Japan, and like, there are no people here except the Norwegians who traveled down there and the journalists. And I started asking people on the streets, like, why aren't more of Japanese out in the forest and rooting for Winter Olympics? And I like, winter what? And then we got a shocking realization that we are very good in a sport that almost no one statistically participates in. So it kind of took the edge off, and a couple of the interviewers, you could see it, like they connected those dots while on air. It's like, are we really that good if nobody else care to participate? And yes, we pour a lot of money into winter games and whatnot, but I mean, are we basically just winning on walkover?
I mean, we
So-
we're also best when it's frozen water involved some way.
yeah.
I think so. It might be that there are no one else than us, Finland, Canada, and the USA, more or less. But yeah, we shouldn't talk sport.
No,
It's not
this
in our
is not
forte. I mean, this is kindergarten level sport talk. So
yeah. This is a maker. We make stuff. We don't play.
we need to try to make stuff.
Yeah. I haven't even tried, to be honest. But to my defense, I said that would happen or wouldn't happen in the
Yeah,
last episode, so nobody can string me up by the fact that I haven't made anything.
but you
What
managed to not make anything.
I did, and I did it beautifully. It turns out I'm a natural in not making anything. What I did though, I've sorted a lot of nuts and bolts, and well, I haven't been making anything, but the 3D printer has been running, making small insert cases for the Sortimo cases that are not Sortimos. So I have been accumulating small bits and bobs from around the workshop into my now hardware store. And then of course it's a sweet taste of victory with some aftertaste of manure, because post Nord, of course, this is the second package that they have delivered to me, which is mangled, the point where you can't even recognize, and some of the shipping labels were missing. And I opened it up, and it turns out, all right, everything looks fine, luckily. So I started putting it into the hardware store cabinet, and then three of them didn't go all the way in. It's like weird. Did I do something wrong on the drawer slides, or but no, I cut them on the CNC, so they are identical. So like then I took the boxes out, and it turns out there someone has dropped the package on the corner. So three of them has gotten a blow that they are bulging at the corner and cracking. And of course, the company who sent them, they have written in small letters on the way bill that you need to check the cargo for any damages, and get the driver to sign for it if you are able to, or going to be able to claim anything on it. And of course, I wasn't home when they were delivered, so I went into the Post Nord app and say, "All right, you can deliver this without the signature." That being said, in their tracking history, they have registered a damage to the package, but they're delivering it anyway. But as a recipient, I can't contact them for any breakages on the package. I have to go to the ones I bought it from. So I registered a case, uploaded all the pictures and whatnot, and we'll see what happens. But it's annoying, and I don't know. Nobody wants to talk to me because when you're trying to call someone, it's this is not our responsibility, and you end up talking to an AI agent anyway. And it turns out, of course, this company they're using the Danish postal service, no, the Dutch, no, the German postal service, and then of course at some point they having handover with Post Nord. So I'm not sure if it happened on the German part of the shipping or if it happened after Post Nord got it. But I hate shipping companies so bad. So I've started to think about revenge. And I wanted to ask you about this because how do you get back at huge corporate companies? Because the only thing they understand is losing revenue. And of course, I don't have enough following to do a dent. So even though I post on social media, they don't even see them. And of course, all these big companies, they don't have phone numbers you can call anymore. They don't have people. They don't give email addresses. You're lucky if it's an online form you can fill out, but they never read those. So it's a chat bot with standardized answers, and you never get what you want from them. So then I started thinking a couple of how can you get back to a huge company? And then I thought, if I find a way where I can make it hurt for Post Nord without doing something illegal, then it would be fun to set up a Kickstarter because I'm pretty sure I can rile up a lot of people are willing to chip in a little bit of money to make a huge impact on Post Nord. We just have to find the angle. But I need people's help. I have been Googling how do you get back at big companies and so on. And of course, the AI answers and Google doesn't give you anything. So you need to go deep into Reddit. But maybe I need to make a Reddit post for this. How to bring a huge company down. And then,
Well, everyone needs a pastime, I guess. So
Well, turning up to head office with a shotgun probably falls into the illegal category.
yes.
yes.
So you probably need to turn up to head office with a large quantity of money, buy Post Nord, and then
just shut it
fire
down.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
And then just burn every building that they have in a sort of, legal way because it's an insurance claim.
That's it would have been fun just as a publicity stunt to find out they're probably a limited company. So, and I'm guessing they're on the stock exchange, or at some point, it should be possible to figure out how much they're worth and make a Kickstarter out of that. We need 4 billion because that's what we can probably buy it for. That's the Kickstarter goal. It's the largest Kickstarter ever, and you will never reach a goal. But maybe then they would see that all right, people are actually trying. The only thing that is keeping them from burning our headquarters down is actually having enough money to do so. But then again, yeah.
I'm not sure that would work. I mean, I get the feeling that if they didn't have contracts with governments that they needed to fulfill, they would happily burn down their own things for the insurance. So, yeah.
Wow.
If you got the money together, they would sell in a heartbeat.
That's the annoying thing, isn't it? You want to beat them at their own game. Sort of like even they don't want to play their own game.
Nope, they definitely don't want to play this game. They are so fed up with this game.
It was fun at the beginning.
What if you buy them and make them play the game?
You see all these letters and parcels? You are going to go out and you are going to hand deliver each and every one of these, and it is going to be delivered on time and in perfect condition. Impossible! It can't be done. You're going to make it happen. Or the
I
puppy
think
gets it.
Savage. Yes.
I think that's their talking to their government representatives of the different countries on a daily basis, and they claim that it can't be done, and they're doing less and less. And I think this is like motivating workers who do the bare minimum and then a little less to stretch that limit. That's post Nord at the moment.
How if you figure out, because I'm not blaming the drivers. They are most likely, most of them are doing a decent job or trying to on probably minimum wage. So could you figure out who the drivers are, and you can just pay them to sabotage within? It's like you're buying inside agents. It's like your job is to make it go so slow that the revenue go down. Like, oh no, the sorting facility broke down again. Someone spilled the syrup in the control unit box for the internal floppy disk or something.
Honestly, can it go slower? So
Yeah.
I think we should flip this on its head and look at it from the other side instead. Take that bribery and make their day better. Make them want to do their job properly. Make them not want to drop their parcels. Bribe them into doing their work.
Offer them incentives to do the job, which actually
They're not
has,
paid enough to do.
has
That,
actually has real
that's
world
not
benefit. What a revolutionary idea.
the problem is that is not with that's not in line with my core feeling of wanting them to die the most horrible death ever. So if I'm going to spend those money, then of course, could you set up a new company,
I think that's the best one.
post south, and you just pay the workers a decent wage and incentivize, as you said, them doing a good job? Then if they can't hire anyone, it's very hard to. But I mean, it wouldn't do anything to their service. I mean, when you hit rock bottom, you can't go any lower, so they're already there. So, but yeah, if you can in some way make them lose the government grants, that would be the nicest. No subsidies. Then they have to live only on the commercial bit of delivering post. They wouldn't survive that.
Probably not.
Once again, I feel it is important that we should point out that all legal advice is offered for entertainment purposes only.
No advice is given ever, I would say.
No advice is given.
Yes. And if you own a shotgun, no. No. No.
Not even in hunting season.
No.
Whatever you're thinking, don't. Just don't.
But if anyone has a good idea of how you legally can get back to a huge company, then send us a DM.
Yeah, it wasn't me dealing with it directly today, but my technician in the office was trying to book in a laptop repair, something that we have done time and time and time again because people are awful and they don't look after their stuff. So we're booking it in. And before, what we used to do is we used to send an email to an account manager, and then we'd get an email back in 5-10 minutes saying, yes, we can do, send it in, we'll have a look at it, and if it's covered under warranty, it's covered under warranty. If it's not, there'll be a fee, blah, blah, blah. And the human person has been replaced with an AI chatbot.
So the answers should come instantly.
Yes. And it was all going swimmingly until we tried to put our address in for the pickup, and it just was not having it. I'm sorry, we can't find this address. you can find this address. And eventually we just had to sort of half make up an address.
Oh, it's so funny when
I
what
really hope that
fails.
they turn up and pick it up tomorrow. So well, it's got most of the elements of the office address in it. I mean, it's not correct, but it is. It's got the organisation name and the postcode. That'll be enough, right?
Were you not presented with that note field, like any additional information where you could write down it's the big blue building?
Same as always, no matter what address says.
Exactly. I mean, I've done it in the past when I was sending parcels to the south of France to my mum and dad when they lived there before they died. um, Post Nord and the PTT, the French Postal Service, very similar attitudes to delivering post, I feel. And so often things would get lost, as in, this, we can't find this address. We don't know where this address is, to the point where actually what I would do is I would get GPS coordinates of the front door of the house and print a map of the village that they lived in and actually stuck it on the box with a big arrow saying, this is where this is going, for your local postie who apparently can't find it. Outstanding.
It's something you can add to the list if you ever win big in the lottery. I'm gonna have my own postal guy. Of course, I've seen all the Jason Statham, the transporter movies, so I'm just gonna have a guy sitting in an Audi. It's like, all right, this parcel needs to be delivered to my aunt. Go. And this is a giveaway. There is a gym in Australia, and then there is Michael in Texas. So have a week.
Off you pop.
Yeah, your own
Your own
personal
courier.
DHL.
Yeah. There will not be signs. There won't be flash watches and expensive clothes and fancy cars. I'm just gonna have people that do stuff
Yeah.
that corporations just fail at. So I'm just gonna get a guy or some people just to do things. Yeah. Nothing shady. Just I need this to go over there. Take it.
I was amazed by that. I did this is a few years ago though, but there is an official school in Britain, of course, for butlers,
Of course.
where they learn like how to iron newspapers. They are probably revised. I was going to say the itinerary or whatever they're called. The plan of curriculum that's the proper word, isn't it? Ironing newspapers, it might not be a thing anymore, but still, people are lining up to be butlers. So there is a possibility you can get a butler, which could take care of everything.
I think it's going to be a bit like that thing of people come here for a British education because apparently it's best in the world. Apparently.
Apparently.
I imagine a lot of butlers don't come to butlering school here, but probably most are not employed here. I imagine, and this is purely just on being old enough to know some shit. I I imagine the biggest employers is probably going to be like America and China.
And it's really nice to have a British butler. Yeah, that's the best kind of butler. You want a Jeeves.
Exactly. You want a Jeeves, you want a Carruthers, you want a Smithers.
Yeah. And then the question is, how many of them continue, and where do you go next? Or do they all go into blackmail? They work for long enough to accumulate shit on wealthy people, and then
Yeah.
that's your retirement plan.
What the butler saw indeed. Yeah. So,
Made
KJ,
anything, KJ?
If I've made anything,
have you made anything?
yes, I've finally finished the soft trousers I talked about last week.
The soft trousers.
Yeah, it only took me half a year, so that feels really good. Now I just have to edit the damn thing as well.
That's some very exclusive tailoring.
Yeah, and sewing is, I mean, it's easy to film it, but damn, it's repetitive, and every shot looks goddamn the same. So, I mean, that's just, yeah, it's it's easy in the same sense that forging is easy to film because you know exactly where the action is going to be, so you can focus the camera on just a cool spot. But there's no fire and flames and anger and that sort of thing. It's just a needle going up and down, up and down, up and down, and sometimes you get a jam, and sometimes you just pick the stitches. So it's a lot
Drama, moments of
easier.
tension.
You could you have that walking foot, don't you? So you could film that, right? And then you find the pitch or the rhythm of that one blue. What's the bluegrass band that do AC/DC? What they're called? Hey, Hazy Dixie. So, of course, you're sitting by the sewing machine and then you fade in the music at the same thing, and then you just film yourself doing all the B-rolls. You make yourself a copy and you read a book, look at just emphasizing how boring and repetitive it is. And then when the song is over, your build montage is done and you got your soft trousers.
Yeah, might be. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I definitely feel I need to do a voiceover for this one as well. So don't expect it to come out anytime soon because it is summertime and I don't feel like sitting behind a computer more than I need to because it's been a lot of garden work instead. We've planted a plum tree, we have cut the hedges. So now it feels like summer can actually begin because I have a bad conscience when we haven't cut the hedges because they lean in on the neighbor's driveway. So I want to cut them way before she actually comes and complains about them. And
Yeah.
now I did that this year in advance as well, so that feels good. And I also dug through the compost, which you really need to do like every other year, something like that. I think I built this compost a little over 10 years ago, and we've never done it for this part of it's two parts. One I did 2 years ago, and that was a hassle. And this was also a hassle because when I built it, I didn't put down any, what's it called, ground cover. Yeah, to keep the roots out. Because I mean, the compost is a really nice place for trees and that sort of thing to get energy. So I think I pulled out like 3 wheelbarrows of roots and things from it. So that was not an easy dig. But now I'm finally at the bottom of it at least. So now hopefully it will last a little longer. But I mean, the wood is singing on its last note. The things that's been down underground for a long time. So we'll see. Maybe I need to replace it next year. But it will hopefully stand this season as well.
So the compost bin is also turning into compost.
Yes, slowly. Because you don't want pressure treated wood and that sort of thing if you're actually going to use the soil for growing stuff you want to eat. So it's, I mean, it is on a time limit.
Aren't we all?
Yes. I mean, this is just the frail thing of nature and life. Everything turns to compost.
Yep. Everything turns to energy eventually.
And the slow trickle of subscribers I talked about has dried up. And I think I figured out why. Because before I went on holiday, I left a big jar of homemade rhubarb marmalade at work. And I stuck a QR code on the back of it. Because I had one just laying around. So maybe that was it. So
Yeah.
that might be good marketing advice. I don't know.
Just stick random QR codes up everywhere.
I mean, people nowadays, I think, know better than to scan random QR codes. But there are places where QR codes are expected and scanned. And those places might be really good to add an
Yes,
additional QR code, put one over,
Mm.
or that sort of thing.
yeah, parking meters,
Yes.
cinema booths, festivals. Yeah.
I've got a big local government conference in the building on Thursday, and they'll all be scanning the QR code to get on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Or maybe
One of those
Oh, to get
automatic
the
subscriber links for
yeah.
YouTube.
no, you have to fill in your name, of course, and your phone number, and you have to be subscribed to fill. That's the steps that you need to have verified before you're given the Wi-Fi code. So that would be if you could
Yep.
sneak that in. Yeah.
And we'll set up a little system. So like, yeah, you can get onto the wider internet, but you have to watch at least 3 of my videos first
Yeah.
and share them, not to people in this room.
And if you subscribe, you go straight on to the high speed option.
Oh yeah. You get full unfettered access to the corporate high-speed link.
For every video you watch, you get half an hour of internet.
Yes. It's a plan. It's going to be quite difficult to pull that sort of thing together by Thursday morning, but I'll see
You're
how
a
busy
clever
I am
guy.
tomorrow. Am I? Who told you that?
Well, you thought that scam up almost all by yourself.
Almost. Yeah. Thinking of the plan is very different to doing the plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
My projects list is full of fantastically, beautifully crafted and well executed projects. And then the reality is, yeah, it's okay.
But at least now it's one project less on that list.
It is one project less. Yes, I finished the spray can rack and I made a video of it. And I published a video of it. And some people have watched it,
Nice.
which is nice.
It was a nice spray can holder.
Does the job, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's all right.
So what
And-
will you do when you get more spray cans than holes?
Well, someone left a comment basically saying, "What do you do when you need more holes?"
The lifelong question.
And I came up with the witty repartee of too much choice is the reason humanity's in the mess that it's in already. So I think a small curated selection of paints is probably more suitable. But also, I could just stick another rack on the other side of the cabinet if I wanted
That's more boring. But going the Soviet style is more. You have 3 colors to choose from: gray, gray, and even grayer.
But I'm without even thinking about it, I am following that mantra myself. I think I have 3 colors, but I have a lot of cans though, and some of them are half full. And I saw these the brand Golden Nugget or whatever, no, the Golden Montana, and then all right, there is actually a company here that sells them at the same price as the ones that I get from the hardware store. And I've always been fascinated for those who get cans where you can also get replacement caps.
to.
Because I usually buy them and then I end up just spending them all. I'm just, all right, I'm putting on 2 extra layers just to spend this can. I've never emptied one just halfway and then put it back and thought about getting a new nozzle for it. It's not worth it. So
And they have really good replacement nozzles as well, if you want a specific spray pattern, that sort of thing.
But
Um,
I mean, when you remove it, you have that little nubbin that sticks up. Surely there has gone paint through it, and when you turn the can upside down, then you spray, and it's all. Does it clean it enough, or is it like?
Mostly,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but not. Sometimes it doesn't.
yeah. The whole turning the can upside down and spray. I've never done that.
The guy who introduced me to spray paint told me to do it that way, so I did, and it worked fine.
Yeah,
But maybe it works. I mean, it is kind of self cleaning in that it sprays stuff out really quickly. Uh, but as I say, I haven't tried not doing it, so I don't know.
yeah. I know it's something you were supposed to do, but I've never done it, and I haven't had any adverse effects from not doing it. He says, I'm sure next time I go to use one of the cans I haven't used in a while, I'll just get
But
coming out of it.
you can still get that.
Yeah.
You always start spraying somewhere else, but otherwise there'll be a big booger on somewhere.
No, I mean, it's good. And it means there's one less random box. That's the new thing. And if it's a box on a shelf, yeah, like the tool is in a box, yeah, or a small case on a shelf, that's fine. But collections of things, if it doesn't have a custom rack or a place for it, it's going in a Euro crate.
Only good boxes.
Only good boxes. I don't want no more cardboard boxes, no more wooden fruit crates or random shitty things. Uniform stuff. That's what I want.
Once again, going a bit Soviet.
All I'm saying is, was it all that bad? Yes, it was.
I think if you ask many ex-Soviet people, they said that no, they would very much like the Union back in comparison to what they have now. So a lot of them, I think, have worse lives.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Everyone had a job.
yes, and Hollywood have had their go-to enemy, and I mean it was we had a system, it worked, and then they screwed it up. Yeah.
Come around here with your ideas of wanting to own a Lamborghini. Screw it up for everyone.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to go and subscribe to the Morning Star or whatever the communist newspaper is now.
The red ruble. No, I'm not sure. I saw this video of top 10 things you didn't know about the hunt for Red October. And that is based on a novel written by Tom Clancy. Clancy.
Classy, yeah.
Yeah. And some of the things that he put into that video or in the book was so close to home that it made a lot of the top brass like anxious to the point where they called down to their engineers and is it actually possible to have like this kind of drive on a submarine? And of course some of the names and that they had a second officer on the Red October was called something Putin, and the movie came out before Putin was more than a KGB officer. Um, but of course, it's eerie how that turned out. And if you look at that character in the movie, it's like, oh my god, they're twins. The same bald face. Yeah.
Speaking of U-boat movies, we actually done a bit of that. We talked about was it last or next to last episode of getting a DVD of a movie you want to see. because we actually have two DVD players here with the home entertainment systems, and I've got a fancied Das Boot, and that one is more or less impossible to stream. The original from '81, that is. So I
Yeah.
bought it on DVD, and both of the kids were really happy about it because the youngest is really into war stuff, and the oldest has I don't know if he had a record of the soundtrack to it, he would have played a hole through it because he really likes that because he likes instrumental music. So we actually sat down and watched Das Boot in two sittings because it's 3.5 hours long. And
Oh
both the
yeah.
kids sat through it, and we watched it in German as well with Swedish subtitles. And both the kids, 8 and 11, watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a really good movie, and that it felt marvelous, actually giving the kids some proper
Yeah.
entertainment.
I'm a big believer in watching things in the original language because no shade thrown on dubbing artists who are jobbing actors who go in and have to put their performance over a Netflix or whatever. But I tried watching. Yeah, there's other of you watched Dark on Netflix.
No, I want to, but I've
No,
never
not
got
yet.
around to it.
Really, really good. But good heavens, watch it in German with subtitles. I can't speak for your languages, but the British dub, oh, ay. It was like really bad amateur dramatics.
Now that I mean, it's fun though because one of the Christmas movies in Norway is a Czech movie that is dubbed by one guy having all the voices, and it's become a classic. But other than that, we don't dub much of our movies. But I lived for 4 months in Poland while working at the shipyard there, and of course they set me up with an apartment, and they had cable TV, all the channels you could imagine, and movies and anything. But Poland is one of those countries that they dub everything, and they don't keep the original language in subtitles either. So I found a lot of movies, but they were dubbed in Polish, and very often by one guy who did all the voices. But without subtitles underneath, there was no point in watching. And that was the one thing I took away from that video of the Hunt for Red October was that they did a few good tricks in in the filming of it that you don't notice it because it's so seamless, but it's brilliant because they start the movie, and of course the Russian crew, they speak Russian, but then in the middle of a scene there is a something happen that it's pivotal to the plot, and they just switch into English, and it's so seamless you don't know it, and your brain just buy it in.
Yeah,
It's like what we talked with the Jedi librarian. You have the first pages in color, so your brain connects what colors to what not, and then the rest of the book is in black and white. And this is the same thing. And of
yeah,
course, Sean Connery have a tradition of doing different languages, just throwing a Scottish accent on there. But he actually did put effort into having a Russian accent here, so it was a bit of a Russian Scottish slang to it, but it worked. It worked. So yeah,
Good
it is a good
times.
movie. That I've. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but that's one of the scenes I do remember is, I think it's they're reading some kind of thing from a book or some longer text, and halfway through they switch from Russian to English, and
wow.
it's, as you say, it's really seamless, and
Yeah.
quality drama is nice
Mm. I
compared
haven't
to.
seen that film in ages. I have to stick it on my to watch list.
Yeah, it's a good rewatch, and then it's the music as well. You think it's an old classic Russian something, but it's not. It was written for that movie, but it is brilliant. The soundtrack
Yeah,
alone is actually it works without the movie, and that helped them set the scene. So yeah, it's I think I had it on DVD at some point. I'm looking at them now, and I think I have four DVDs. Like these ones, I'm not getting rid of because it was hard finding them 20 years ago. But I've given away all my DVDs when we cleaned out my dad's house because that's where I had them, and now I don't have a DVD player. And what we talked about in the last episode, I went online to see. All right, let's get a Blu-ray then, so I can read Blu-rays and DVDs and all the varieties of whatever I find at a thrift shop. But oh my god, if you want a ultra HD something Blu-ray, rather, it's like £400 today. And I just saw an article as well that someone said you have a whole generation now, like realizing that we peaked in the 90s. So people are now going back buying VHS players, DVD players, and stocking up. So we talked about this in the last episode, and it's come further than I have feared, and that is driving up the prices. So if you're going to buy a new DVD player or whatnot, it's more expensive now than it ever was, which is sad.
It's funny if you look at the like the film camera community, and people go on about how much so much cheaper things were then. Sort of like, well, actually, no, not really.
No,
No,
The really expensive stuff has always been expensive.
expensive stuff's always been expensive. It's just all relative to wages. Some people
Yeah.
bemoan about the fact that a roll of Portra 400 is, like 15 quid now. I can say, like, oh yeah, well I remember when I were back in my day, Portra 400 was £2.50 for a 36 roll, and well that's what it was £2.50 for a 36 roll. But also, do you remember that the average wage in 2000, 1995, like 2000 was about sort of like 13 to 15,000 a year
yeah,
as an average wage. And people complain about when these companies bring back new film cameras about just how expensive they are. So, like, yeah, because all the tooling and manufacturing is long gone. This is a really, really niche product. And the reason your pretty basic film camera costs £800 is because they had to put
I'm.
so much money into retooling factories to make it.
I think today it is cheaper to get quality audio video equipment than it was 20 years ago.
Mm.
And I was bored today because I got up 5 hours before everyone else, and my back hurt. So I got up and then walked around a bit, and then I found a YouTube video from Linus's Tech Tips, and I did not know this, but SD cards, they are much worse quality than their predecessor. The more thicker, bulky. I don't remember what they were called.
Compact flash.
Yes.
Yes, but of course, money. And then people are buying photo and video equipment in the thousands. But when it comes to storing, no, don't want to pay more than 5 quid for this. And then Linus just summed up. All right, so we have equipment, we have a camera here for £2,000, and then we buy a cheap SD card because we don't want to spend money on that, and then we put 4 days of filming. That's £5,000 worth of wages and filming time and whatnot, and then it's a server time, and like he added up all the cost. And you really want to jeopardize that by saving 20 quid on the storage solution for your very expensive equipment. But now there is an alternative. You can get a SD card. I think it's called Compact Ultra or something, which is it's better quality, but you can also run diagnostics program that will tell you how good it is and when it's time to swap it out. Because some of the other ones you can't do that on, so you can it works and it works and it works, and then just some time it's gonna fail, and then you've lost all that footage. I mean, to me, yes, I'm gonna lose max a day of ranting. I don't like collect a week of filming before I dump it into my computer, but still. So I learned
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah, I think the new SD cards are also they're also called compact flash cards or CF cards or CF2, I think. So it's almost the same form factor as a SD card, but it's a bit thicker. So you can't put it in a. You need a camera that takes CF.
Yeah,
And they are expensive, but the good stuff always is expensive.
Yeah.
that's a good thing though. With a camera today, even my camera, if I wanted, I could get like a separate unit, and you could run audio and video through that. So then you could have another storage solution. But of course, you would have another dongle attached to your camera rig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if I did anything important, I would definitely have some. I mean, I I played around with doing photography for hire, but I realized it wasn't for me. But at that point, I used the feature on my camera that they used both uh, CF cards in double, so it saved the images on both of them. So it was double backup in the camera
Oh, yeah.
because that felt safer, not trusting just one, but have a fail
Yeah,
safe. And
that's that's
when I shot for myself for my entertainment, I just used them as fill one and then fill the next. But if anyone else was involved, then it was double copy
yeah,
instead.
that's what I do on the big camera. It's got two cards. One records RAW and one records a JPEG.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So you got your quick small files, and then you got your big uncompressed, unedited. No um, in camera shenanigans going on. So it'll look a bit grey and flat, which is just what I like.
Gray and flat. That's really... it's the new Phil.
Yep.
Yeah.
Soviet
I,
Phil.
I take all my pictures in RAW, and then I just convert them to JPEG, gray and flat. That's the aesthetics I'm going for.
Well, you can go on further. You can buy cameras now which don't have the RGB array in front of them, so they only shoot in black and white. The only images you can get out of it are like very, very high quality black and white images.
Everything looks better in black and white.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I mean, it's an easy way to, if something looks a bit boring or bland, just removing the colors, make it look more interesting.
that can work, yeah. If your subject's a bit boring, but you got some interesting form, chuck it in black
Exactly.
and white, boost the contrast, make it arty.
Yes. I mean, that's the new Spider Noir TV series on Amazon that we're watching at the moment. There you have an option of watching it in color or watching it in black and white.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
Oh.
And I mean, it's played out in the like 1920s ish. So everyone is going around in trench coats, naturally, and some of them are really vibrant colors. I guess would look interesting. I have so far we haven't tried black and white because my wife is boring sometimes. But if she doesn't go on to watching at least one episode in black and white, I will do it myself just to see the difference. But it's a fun thing.
Did you watch was it last year, the year before, the Netflix adaptation of The Talented Mr. Ripley?
No, I did not.
That's all shot in black and white, and that's really, really nicely done. You could just freeze any episode at any point, and it's a work of art. It's really, really beautiful. and the story is good, and it's incredibly well acted as well. It's the same. It's the same book. It's the same story as the film they did with
Matt Damon?
Matt Damon and the English fella,
Was it
who's
Jude
Jude Law.
Law? Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've seen that, then you know the story. But this is better. This is definitely better.
But it would be nice though. I haven't. I've seen some black and white movies, but they are of course black and white because that was the option, and the rest of the video equipment was not the best compared to die. But getting high definition, but still black and white, yeah, that sounds tantalizing to me. And of course, everything sounds tantalizing to someone who grew up watching Bonanza and Sorrow recolored on television in the early 90s, because those poorly black and white movies that someone in post 200 years later just recolor them poorly by hand, frame by frame, it's not good. They just chose a few colors because they had to do it by hand, so it took a lot of time. So yeah, but even that has its charm today.
Yeah. Yeah, more charm than quality.
Yeah, that's what I've tried to. Co-
That
co-
does sum
co-
up our YouTube channels.
yes, I'm compensating for quality and charm, but it seems to fail.
At least trying.
Yes.
The quality is
Yep.
awful, but damn, it's charming.
But you will work. I mean, you are the product in your YouTube channel, the overspanning thing. If we look beyond the projects, so
Yeah.
you better be charming if you want people to come back. You can't actually be an asshole, because then probably no one would show up.
No, that's the problem, isn't it? But let's not dig into that. So yeah, that's but people are coming back. That's nice, but there is no new people. I have also noted down that the slow trickle has stopped. I mean, I was at an all-time high, and then I lost 3 subscribers overnight, so I was back at the same place I've been for the last year, and then it's just stopped. And of course, I don't. I'm on holiday, so I'm not making anything. I'm not filming anything, and like I can't be bothered using my holiday to like find some old shorts to publish just to generate something for the algorithm. But it is. I'm not sure if YouTube has taken vacation itself, because there is. I find very little that I want to watch. And of course, the people who make something I do want to watch, that they are also currently on holiday, both physically and mentally. So there is not much to watch either. So it's kind of a good thing then. So it's gardening work and drinking beer.
If I had a garden, I'd definitely be doing garden work. But I haven't. I've got a balcony with some pots on it, and my lavender has died again.
Oh no.
Oh
And
no!
I can't grow lavender. Every few years, I go, this time I'm definitely not going to kill the lavender. I killed the lavender.
Isn't lavender supposed to be one of those that's
They're really
hard to kill?
hardy, very hard to kill.
Are you giving it too much love and attention, like my mom does with her plants? I think she waters most of them to death. Or
Well, no, because these plants, they like dry, arid, well draining, hot,
yeah,
and so I purposely don't water it the same time as I water all the other stuff. I leave it a good sort of 2 or 3 weeks between,
yeah.
and stick your finger in the pot, make sure it's bone dry, fine, give it a bit of water, and yeah, I've just got some very nice lavender smelling twigs in a pot now.
Is the pot too small or something like that?
No, no, pot's the right size. It's one of them things. It's like basil. Basil grows like weeds in some places. I can't grow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Parsley, good. Chives, coriander, all different herbs. Happy days. Grow loads of that in the window box. Basil, not having any of it.
So that you can grow some stuff. So it's not your downstairs neighbors smoking crack in the middle of the night. That's the fumes killing everything.
Hopefully not.
it's a question that you said if you had a garden, you would be doing garden work. But the problem is when you have a garden, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I would very much, at least once in my life, be in that position where I have a garden, but me working in it is by choice. But it grows so damn fast. There is always something that needs to done. So you never get to the point where you can lean back for a couple of weeks enough to like, now I want to work in the garden again.
It's like anything, isn't it? It's never done.
Yeah.
Nothing
But
is ever
you
done.
never have I seldom have the energy to do something I want to do over the what I need to do. So
Yeah.
well, it's just incremental improvements other than doing the basic stuff to keep it sort of in check.
Yeah. And I'm no stranger to garden work. When I grew up in, both of the houses I grew up in had huge gardens. When we lived in Wales, it was nearly
That's just a garden.
three. No, it was like 3 acres, more or less. And I spent a lot of time working out there for free. But when you're 14 and you've got to ride on lawnmower, you love it.
That's
Oh yeah.
barely work.
That's barely work. No.
That was my first real paying job in the summertime, cutting the grass on a cemetery with a ride on lawnmower.
Hmm.
It's something like they're actually paying me for this. I felt.
Yeah.
Yep. Put your tape in your Walkman, and you don't get any points for knocking over headstones.
The opposite, actually.
Not the opposite. This is not GTA. Oh. What do you chaps think about sidling over to a half pint?
Sounds like a plan.
Yep, that sounds like a good plan. Which
Very
means we're
enthusiastic.
yeah, which means we are going from episode 147 then of this Malarkey of podcast to
Malarkey.
147 and a half.
What did you call our baby?
Oh, baby, is it? Oh, it's
Might be an ugly baby, but it's ours.
there are definitely some special needs going, but
Oh, I say, what an ugly baby.
But it's charming.
It's charming as hell.